Alright, so apparently a lot of you people want to see a questions and answers video. I said ask me anything, and a lot of you replied. So I'm going to answer all of your questions, alright? I won't skip any, alright? Okay, here it goes. Have you ever been approached by a fan of your channel whilst out on many of your escapades? No, never. This never happened. In general, I don't get approached a lot by fans of the channel. Yeah, I don't really get approached much, so. Did you ever fear that some of the predators that you busted might commit suicide or run away after the confrontation and you exposing them? And I mean because they would get to home after you bust them since you can't arrest them. Yeah, I feared them committing suicide a lot, and that's kind of why I was really nice to them. Yeah, I hated them, but I didn't want them, going home and killing themselves. So yeah, that's why. So yeah, it was a big fear, and I even contacted the police about that when they said stop doing what you're doing. And I said, look, I want to because I don't want them committing suicide. At the same time, it's like I can't stop this. But they didn't. I pitched an idea to the police. They weren't too fond of it, but it was logical. My reasons as to why. I told the police too. I said, hey, legally I can arrest these people, and which is it's true in Michigan, in my state. Disclaimer, in my state, if it's someone committing a felony in my observance, then I can arrest them. I can detain them. But I've never done that. Never really wanted to. But yeah, that was always on my mind, what they would do, because their mind was just racing. And it was a shocker for many of them, especially knowing that, hey, their family's going to find out, and they're probably going to get in trouble. And it's happened before, too, in Dateline NBC To Catch a Predator in Murphy, Texas. Assistant DA committed suicide right there, boom. So, yeah, that was on my mind. Do you have a favorite brand of dog food, or do you just go with whatever's cheapest? Whatever's cheapest for me. If I had a dog, I would go with the healthy kind, whatever that is. But for me, I don't really care. I'm not really fond of eating dog food now. I'm just simply eating it right now just to get rid of it. Maybe I should just find a random dog and give the dog the food, but once this bag is up, that's it. I'm done eating dog food. There's so much good human food out there. Human food. No, not like that. How and when did you first get the idea to make your predator videos or start catching predators? So in middle school, I was a fan of To Catch a Predator, and I thought it was cool. I thought it was funny. High school, I did a little bit of catching predators, I guess you could say, but it was stupid. I'd just go on these chat rooms and just, pretend to be a girl, and then just freak them out by telling them what their IP is and stuff like that, using tools. But it never really got serious until to the point where I didn't want to confront them until in college. At the end of my college career, I just thought, like, doing chemistry stuff, I was like, man, this is fun. This chemistry stuff is fun. But what would be more fun is to catch predators. And so yeah, that's really what it was. There wasn't really a deep meaning behind it. I just wanted to have some fun catching predators. And it's not fun talking to them. I quickly learned that. It's not fun talking to them. And meeting them is totally different, but it was so cool. Because, I mean, the first time I dealt with a predator, it was incredible. It was just because I felt so nervous, and it felt like I was driving to my funeral. Shut up! No, I'm just joking. I don't have anger issues. But it was cool because it was just euphoric after catching them. Shut up! But yeah, it was May 2013. I was 20 years old. This was in college, and I had a lot of fun with it. a lot of fun with it. But quickly it became something really serious. Do you have friends that watch your videos? Let's back up into, do you have friends? Just joking. Yeah, I do. Some of them don't. Some of them don't watch my videos. I would tell them an idea or a video that I've made, and they would think, oh, cool, but some of them don't actually watch them. Not everyone watches them. Why Anxiety War? What's the significance of that channel name? It's kind of personal. I've had this channel for a while before I uploaded stuff. I used to catch predators on a different channel. But Anxiety War, the meaning behind it is what you can make of it. Well, that's all I have to say about that. Perl programmer with a Windows workstation. Yeah, I don't think you've seen my workstation. You may have seen one computer I have. But, Windows, I'm a Windows guy. I love Windows, so. Bill Gates, my boy. What are some of the most dangerous situations you have found yourself in during some of your late night adventures? Other than the predator stuff, really none. I don't really find myself in dangerous situations. I mean, sometimes when I'm running at night, you know, there'll be someone that wants to cause some issues. That happens occasionally. But other than that, I don't find myself in dangerous situations. So, I'm lucky, I guess. Also, what are your family and friends' thoughts on your predator catching? Well, my family, I don't really have a family. It's kind of, well, I guess. But, like mom and dad and stuff like that. And my brother. They thought it was really cool. They thought it was cool. I was kind of wondering if they were going to be all like scared and afraid and stuff. But no, they thought it was great. So, friends, some of the friends, I've had some friends that think it was really, really crazy. Some friends have told me, dude, you're gonna get shot. And then one guy who's now dead told me, you know, look, I like what you're doing, it's good, but I don't want to go to your funeral. So I've had some friends say that to me, that dude, we don't want to see you getting shot, that's excellent, we're entertained by your videos. But it's like, holy crap, you know. And you know, I've got the same message from police officers and stuff like that too. There were friends too that were all about it, and they thought, yeah, I think it's so cool. So it really depended on the friend. But I just told them, hey, you know, I can't stop. OMG, great idea. Oh, that's not a question. I knew that. Did you go to college? Yes, I have an associate's degree in science in GRCC, class of 2013. I think that's in a news article, because I had to say that on the stand. They said, what's your education background? And so the news people put that, just slapped that in there. So, yeah. Tell us a bit more about yourself. I feel like I've missed some of your videos and forgot who you are. About myself? I'm sure some future questions, because I'm looking down the list, I'm sure some other questions will address that. Shut, you fudger, mother's fudger. Darn it. Alright, I'll tell you something about myself. I don't like it when people interrupt me when I'm trying to make videos. Horns are the worst. Horns, people yelling. When kids are yelling and screaming, I don't care. But when adults are, it's like, dude, you're an adult, like, grow up, you know? I don't know. What do you see yourself doing in 5 years? A wife? Alright, stop. Why did you quit the pedo videos? I wouldn't use the word quit. I've addressed this before. I've addressed it so many times. It's just kind of being like a broken record now. I like having fun with these new videos. It's weird because when I watch some of my old videos, which a lot of you can't see, but I still have them. When I watch my old videos, it's like it's so different because the demeanor is so serious. And I've never really been, I'm not really that serious in my personal life. But making videos like that, of course you have to be. I'm not gonna, and occasionally I would laugh and smile. I would smile a lot. But it was a different time, you know, it was a different mood. When you're talking about predators trying to do things with children, I'm not gonna laugh and I'm not gonna like smile like the whole, it's not like that. It's all about subject matter. But I didn't really quit. I wouldn't say quit. Like quitting is like when you're totally given up and won't do it again. I'm not saying anything. Can you talk about your experiences with love and dating? What was your last relationship like and how long did it last? If you look in the background here, Skelly is in our presence, so it'd just be kind of awkward me talking about that, you know, and it's a little personal, so I can't really, Jenny, I can't really talk about that. Have you ever traveled outside of your hometown? Of course. If yes, where? Just, you know, all across the Midwest. Of course, I've been to Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Iowa, Minnesota, South Dakota, and Canadian waters up north from me. Where I live in Michigan, Grand Rapids, Michigan. Where would I love to go? I would love to go to hell. What are some of your favorite, less popular YouTube channels? Well, I have a lot of favorite YouTube channels, but the less popular ones. Many years ago, I had a really favorite channel. It was this this dude who was an attorney for a living, but on the side he made these videos, and they're so well made, and his acting was really good. He's an attorney, so his acting has to be good, right? Sorry, that's okay. But he made these videos where he was pretending to be a pastor, and it was very satirical, and it was funny. I had a lot of fun watching those videos.
Hi, I'm Pastor Shepherd. I'm here in a foreign country, helping children in need. This is the home of one of the children in need. Come on, let's go inside and talk to the child in need. I'm here with Gabriella, the child in need. Gabby is dying from a very rare disease.
No, I'm not.
And he's a very small YouTuber, but it's a dead channel. He hasn't uploaded in probably like 8 years, so.
This book will change your life. And here's what I'm going to do. God told me, Pastor Shepherd, give your book away. What? Give my book away? God, I want to help poor people, but I don't want to be one. But he said, no, give your book away. So that's what I'm going to do. If you call today and get your copy of How to Get Rich by Sending Me Money, it's yours free. You just pay shipping and handling. So call and get your book today.
How did your family and friends react when they saw you on the news? So for those who don't know, it was when the Grand Rapids Police Department sent out a press release saying that, hey, some dude was pretending to be a girl and we made arrests based on what he found in the video evidence he collected, blah, blah, blah. And once that press release came out, it was on the news here, local news, but the channel went viral before the news hit. So a lot of my family and friends found out just from a couple of videos that went viral. I didn't tell anyone what I was doing, and it was so weird because you can create something on YouTube and not tell anyone, and then just have people that you've known forever go up to you, and people who you have no idea who they are go up to you and say, hey, I've seen your video on the streets and stuff. It's astonishing, without saying anything, without telling anyone, just by simply putting it online. It's amazing, it's incredible. But like I said, how the friends reacted to it, they thought it was cool that, you know, that it was on the news. But I was annoyed by it, and I guess my parents were annoyed by it too. I didn't live with them, and I don't like living here when I hear horns like that. Who is that? Who is funny? Buy drugs somewhere else, moron. Okay. Darn it, my train of thought. The news, yes, the news. Buy drug. I'm just joking. There's not a lot of drug activity that goes on here. But my family was annoyed. You know, I didn't live with my parents. You know, I would just ignore the news people when they would say, like, hey, we want to do an interview and stuff. Anything you say, you know, could be used in a criminal trial. Not for me, but, you know, when I'm being cross-examined by defense attorneys and whatever. So for the most part, I just kept to myself and just ignored people, hoping that they would get the message, the media would get the message that, you know, I don't want to talk. But they still were annoying, and they came to my apartment.
He wasn't home and hasn't returned our calls.
Screw you, guy. Leon Hendricks Jr. at my apartment again, wanting to talk. Well, guess what? Screw you. They've been warned not to come here at least 2 times. Stalkers. Nope, I won't answer. And they couldn't find me. They went to my parents' house, even my parents' neighbor's house. So that was kind of annoying. I remember I was driving to my parents' house, and my mom calls me, and she says, like, Zach, there's a news van here that's been out here forever. And I thought, crap, okay, thanks for telling me that. I'm gonna have to, like, park on the side of the road and wait or something. So just wanted to avoid, totally just wanted to avoid. But friends thought it was cool. A lot of older friends and acquaintances didn't learn about it from when it went viral online, so they learned about it from the news, and so that was really nice of them, because a lot of people came out and said thank you, and even over the years I've made some friends online who only know my voice, just by speaking on, you know, Ventrilo and Roger Wilco, you know, as a kid playing games and whatever, and I was contacted they found me. and they said stuff like, dude, like, I don't know what you look like, but this sounds like you. Is this you? Did you do this? So yeah, that's me. And some other friends that I haven't talked to in a long time from high school and whatnot, you know, they came forward and said what was on their mind, and I appreciated that a lot. So overall, very good, very good. I have had a few friends, former friends maybe, I don't know, who were totally, they weren't for the idea, not necessarily for my safety, but just because they're against the idea of sting operations, you know, a little controversial. Some of them even went so far as to say entrapment, and so of course, you know, that triggered a debate. And so I have no problem debating these things. It's not entrapment, absolutely not. That's been ruled in the courts recently by one of the dudes who tried appealing. It is not entrapment, trust me on that. How come cows, I think you mean bulls in that make babies, duh, that's why, okay. Do you have any cats or dogs? Not anymore, I don't have any dogs. It's unfortunate, I love dogs. Have you ever had a paranormal experience? Is this an H3H3 podcast? No, I have not. Cats versus dogs. Pussies and bitches. Oh, that's a pet grooming shop in Kentucky. It's not swearing if you say that. Much like, what did the fish say when he hit the wall? You know. I like both. I like both. Yeah, I like maybe probably dogs a little bit more, just because I've never owned a cat. And I don't know, it seems like dogs have more personality to them. But some cats can just be like dogs, you know. As far as like saying like sit, stay, and like catch, and I don't know about that. I don't know. I don't want to be discriminatory against cats, you know. Do you think predators are now more careful because there are many YouTubers who try to catch them? I mean, some of them are just so cocky it doesn't cross their mind that they'll get caught, and so they're not really worried about it. Which is astonishing, and that you see that in criminology a lot, where the criminal isn't worried about getting caught. You know, I won't get caught. I mean, I've had it to where I was dealing with a predator face to face, him thinking I was a 14-year-old girl. I dressed up for it, and he was blind, legally blind. And I've had him say that, hey, you know, I was worried at first because I thought you were a cop or something like that. And then I was recording, and I said, and for emphasis, you know, for dramatic effect, I got closer to him and I said, what was that? I couldn't hear you. Can you repeat that? And he said, yeah, I thought you were like, I got all nervous at first because I thought you were a police officer or like some FBI person or something like that. And I said, oh, what, you really thought that? And but in a girl voice, and I won't emulate that girl voice that I did, because it's terrible. And he said, yeah, he laughed it off, and he said, yeah, I can't believe I thought that. I'm thinking, dude, you're right. I am not a police officer. You're right, but I'm also not a little girl. But YouTubers, they're probably not too worried about that. Maybe with Hansen versus Predator, with that show being revived, you know, after it was To Catch a Predator, maybe they're a little bit more scared about getting caught. In the gap years between the two shows, I think maybe some predators were kind of calmed out. But at the same time, what they're doing is so high risk that I'm pretty sure it's always in the back of their mind. But I don't think they're worried about YouTubers so much. What other hobbies are of interest to you? Do you play any video games, PC or console? So real quick, the video game thing, occasionally I play Doom, the original ones, Doom 1, Doom 2, came out in 93, 94. Also, some of the old Need for Speed games, I have one right here from 1998, it's 20 years old. I've you know, just from my childhood, I would play Need for Speed games, you know, high stakes, things like that. Viper Racing is another one I used to play, still play, every now and then. What else? That's about it. I'm not really much of a gamer, to be honest, but other hobbies include running. I run a lot. Boating, occasionally I do that. Biking is a big one. Working on bicycles, I did that to pay for college, and throughout high school and college. And so it feels good. It still feels good working with your hands on just anything, because because what I do is I'm usually behind a computer screen, and it's satisfactory, but at the same time there's a sense of pride working with your hands that you can't get from behind a computer screen. So yeah, I tinker around with a lot of stuff, you know, build stuff, like mopeds, but I haven't done that in a while, but I just like tinkering around with that kind of stuff. Some of my other hobbies are kind of nerdy. Like I can just be on Wikipedia for hours late at night, just reading, and it's amazing because it's linked so well. So I'll be on an article and I click another article and just goes on. And that's how I learn a lot, just by reading and taking some pleasure in that. So yeah, I'm like almost addicted to Wikipedia, I swear. I love it. Also, when I'm on my boat, I have a big magnet, 500 pounds pull force. It's a hobby. It's magnet fishing, where you throw a magnet in the water and then you pull it in and see what the magnet has attached that someone has lost many years ago. Haven't found any guns yet, but it's very interesting, and it's a new hobby too. It's kind of new. It just popped up within the last few years, roughly. So a lot of the stuff that's in rivers and lakes and stuff people don't see. You can't see that. So there's a lot of stuff down there that wouldn't have been discovered otherwise. You know, if it's ferrous, the magnet will pick it up. And so that's kind of fun. Usually I don't find anything too cool, but it's just fun when you feel weight on the magnet and you're like, it's cool because it's like what's in there? You don't know, and it's so mysterious. And I just love mysterious stuff like that. And that's partially why I like dumpster diving. It's not necessarily fun. I mean, I find just crap, right? Absolute garbage. But it's kind of fun, like not knowing like what you'll find. You know, it's just, I don't know. It's just kind of fun. Do you read comics? No. How do you keep going when you lost everything, including a parent? I assume you lost a parent. I'm sad to hear that. There's a little bit of a fallacy in this question. And how do you keep going when you lose everything? You can lose a lot more. Remember that. How would you cope if Skelly died? That's a great question. I worry about that too. I don't think he's prepared for it. Oh yeah, that's all I've ever known is Skelly being dead. So how would I cope if Skelly died? I'm feeling pretty good. I'm so glad you're posting videos more frequently. By the way, have you seen That Nice Cop Again yet? I haven't seen That Nice Cop Again yet, but whenever I'm out and about, at night dumpster diving, I look for them. Yes, I am posting more frequently. Did you approach any predators but not make a video about it? Yes. What's your opinion on the rise of AI, good or bad? Oh boy. Okay, artificial intelligence. Oh boy. I think the rise of AI is good so long as we don't get too ahead of ourselves and too overconfident, or overconfident, to where that we have our lives are at risk, and are relying on AI to do its thing. Because the risk of hacking is a big concern for me. I mean, from what I've seen from life experiences, if there's a system, the system can be penetrated. It's just a matter of when that'll be penetrated. So that does worry me, self-driving cars in particular. I think it's really cool. I think it's awesome. But the AI needs to be good. It can't, nothing have ASS. It's just, I just hope we don't rely on AI too much to where lives are at stake if something goes wrong. And I think it'd be easy to take for granted everything being fine. But I do worry about the future with AI, because it's incredible what men can do, and not all men want to better society. Some of them want to do terrible things, but thankfully right now they don't have the technology that we sane people have. But if they get it, oh boy, take them out like sauerkraut. And I'm talking about ISIS in particular. But I think overall it's good though. I mean, I think AI is good. AI is replacing humans in many realms in our everyday life. And as a programmer, I see this a lot. And I think it's fine. It's just a different era, and I think everyone will become used to it and conditioned to let the machines do their thing and trust the machine. But that very statement frightens me as well, so I don't know. How was your college and high school experience? All A's, yes. I was very, I just focused a lot on work and getting good grades, and that's about it. I didn't really party. Not at all. What kind of car do you drive? I drive a 1993 Oldsmobile 88 Royale. If you could dumpster dive anywhere in the world, where would it be? I really don't think about that question. And I don't have dreams about fantasizing of where I don't know, probably Beverly Hills maybe. Find some Rolexes. I don't know. What kind of flashlight do you use? It's actually a bicycle headlight. I don't know what the brand is, but I mean it's nice and bright, and it works well, and it's rechargeable by USB, so that's cool. What's your real life job? I am a computer programmer, self-employed. When did you start programming and why? In college? I took a lot of classes in high school that helped me out in college with AP credits, so I had a lot more time in college to do things freely versus senior year of high school, for instance. So I did a lot of things that were different, talking academically here, and that was learning about computer programming. It was a creative outlet for me. It was, I dealt a lot with science and chemistry and biology, and that was way more intellectual than programming, I think, and a lot of it had to do with memorization, and programming was different because you could create things. It wasn't just how smart you are per se. It was just, okay, you know, here's a language, you can use this language to do this, have at it, and you can combine so many languages, and it's like art, and it's a creative outlet, or it was for me that's what I discovered in college, and it's very satisfactory to get something working finally. It can be stressful, but once it works, it's amazing, and it makes your life so much easier. Some of the programs that you can make. What is your favorite decade of music? Mine is between the 1950s and 1980s. A wide range. That's a little bit more than a decade. I'm into rock mainly, and late. It's such a hard question because I'm into a lot of everything. So the late '60s up, even to even more recently. I don't pay attention much to the newer stuff, just because I'm not used to it. And I don't hear it. I'm not exposed to it very much. But 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, yes, that's right. And late 60s. Can't forget about my boy Jimmy, you know. What types of things do you code? I make scripting programs that make people's lives easier. For those who don't know, a script is basically a program that tells a computer what to do. You can make it really efficient and fast, to where if it takes a human to complete a task in 10 minutes, it'll take a program I could make like 10 seconds or less. So in the industry, you know, if you're talking productivity, it's super efficient, it saves so much money. And over time, throughout many years of programming, what worked one day, what I thought was the best solution ever one day, or was the best sequence of lines of code one day, as far as the order and execution and how it goes about doing that. Sometimes I think that this is great, there's nothing that can be better than this. And then several months later, I look at my old code and think, dude, that is terrible. I mean, it's so weird because, like, right after college or during college or whatever, the stuff that you'll be doing, you'll think is amazing. You'll think it's so great and it's the best out there. Until later in life, you'll be like, you'll look back and you'll think, dude, that's terrible. Like, why did I do this when I could have done this? And that's just experience, you know, that's just learning what's best and what's not, what to do, what not to do. I mean, I can run my programs and do what they want for whoever overnight. And it's so nice. And I mean, I used to have a ton of computers set up here, just doing their own thing. And yeah, I'm really good at multitasking at this point. But just my programs have become so good over the years to where I don't nearly need as many machines to get what I want done. I have improved my productivity and efficiency so much now. So I mean, yeah, before I didn't realize at the time. It's terrible, and that, you know, everyone will experience that. Looking back at their old work, like, what? Are you serious? But yeah, that's fine. So everything's good now. But you know, 5 years from now, I'll probably look at what I'm doing now and think, dude, like, you can do this much better. So that's what I like about life, is you always improve, or should always improve. Did your mother know that you were off catching predators whenever you left the house to Taco Bell? I don't live with my mom. I didn't back then. So, and she wouldn't care. Mayo or Miracle Whip, this is important. It must not be important to me because I don't care. I don't know. I've never had Miracle Whip. Skelly is leaving you and she's going to get with me. Yeah, right. Well, Liam, let's see what you look like. Oh yeah, maybe. Can you please make a Twitter? No. Why are you the best thing to happen on the internet? That's not a serious question. Have you ever felt in danger when confronting a predator? If so, what did you do? Love your videos. Okay, so the only time where I felt physically threatened was one of the guys gave me a look that looked like he wanted to kill me. I felt a little bit in danger there. But as far as from a physical standpoint, this was at midnight one time. There was this young guy, a guy younger than me, who wanted to have sex with a girl, who I was pretending to be, and he said, like, "Who is this girl? Like, are you her brother?" I said, "Dude, no, I am the girl." Anyway, I saw him from a distance. He was alone. There was absolutely no one there. I met him at this park in the middle of the night, at midnight. I ran up to him and like, I pretty much said, "Hey, dude, like, I know why you're here." And he had the only car in the parking lot. I said, "Oh, cool, your car." I said something like, "Hey, I'm gonna get your license plate," because I was wearing my video camera glasses. And he said, "No, you're not." And so we were probably about like 10 yards away from his car. But I beat him to it. You know, I'm faster than he is, much faster. So I got it on video, his plate, but he was still like in front of his plate, like blocking his license plate. We only have one license plate in Michigan in the rear. When I was discussing what he was saying in the chat log, you know, to confront him with the facts and what he planned to do, because he was denying it, blah blah blah. He was about a normal distance from me, but he approached me and he went well within my comfort zone, almost face to face. And so I thought he was going to do something because I knew he was younger and he was more physically apt to do something, because I saw him run and it was good but not good enough. I still got the license plate. But he went in my face, and he didn't say anything, but he had his chin up like this, kind of like as a sign of dominance, right? That's what animals do. It's a subconscious thing. But I just said, like, "Hey, you know, step back and put your hands out of your pockets." And he did. He backed up and he went like this. Now, I wasn't gonna back up, you know, because that would signal weakness, and that would signal submission. So you just have to stand your ground. But I did feel like he was gonna do something, like hit me or whatever. But you know, you just kind of have to go with the flow and hold your ground. So. But yeah, you know, I would wear Kevlar too, so I didn't really worry about being harmed. But what if you shot me in the face? No, I didn't. It was a game, you know. It was a total game, so I didn't really feel like it was real life, because it was so surreal anyway, to where I didn't feel fear very much. So, what are you like around family? I like how it's a contraction. What are you like? I've never seen that before, Christian. That's very cool. What am I like around family? Just probably like how I am now. I'm very playful, and I make a lot of jokes and puns that are very inappropriate sometimes, but I can't do that on YouTube. But I don't know, I'm just kind of loose, I guess you could say, socially with family and friends. What is the most valuable item you have found in the dumpster? I found years ago, when I was probably like a young teen, I found a whole bunch of checks that weren't cashed, and they were like, I did the math, and it was like $30,000 or something. And that was that moment in my life I realized I could go one way or another. I could go in the path of check fraud, or I could be, you know, straight as an arrow. And I chose to demolish the checks, because man, some of the things you find in dumpsters, you could totally rip people off and steal their identities. But other than that, I can't believe I classified that as a valuable thing, but it was. I mean, on the black market, that'd go for a lot. I don't have any experience in the black market. But the most valuable thing I found in the dumpster, I found a lot of bicycles that I fixed up and sold for a lot of money. I found some other stuff that was probably valuable that I left. And recently I found a bunch of vintage French fishing lures and fishing items that I sold for quite a bit on eBay. But I mean, sometimes I dumpster dive and I don't really show you guys like what all I find, because it's just one of those things that I do if I'm out and about, going to whoever's house, going to whatever store. You know, I'll check a couple of dumpsters, and so not all of it's filmed, but I mean, I do get lucky sometimes. But other than that, there's mostly just garbage in the dumpster. Haven't had any like really cool scores yet. But it's just fun. When is the documentary on female predators coming? Michelle, probably not for a while. To tell you the truth, not for a while. What did you want to be when you were a kid? I wanted to work at Walmart. Do you watch any TV shows? No, I do not. I don't have a TV. But when I lived with my parents, I watched a lot of MTV, and as a kid Nickelodeon, a little bit of Disney, but I'm more of a Nickelodeon kid. And I watched WWE Raw in my teen years. I also have watched a few episodes of Dexter online, so I guess that counts too. But other than that, I don't really care. What's in the private folder? There's nothing cool in there, unfortunately. Favorite author or book? Yeah, by the way, I haven't read this. Is this right here, Fahrenheit 451? It's about this guy, the protagonist, Guy Montag, who is a fireman for a living, but he lives in a future society in which firemen don't put out fires, they start them. And the whole goal of their department and in the society is to burn books and to find books. Books are deemed illegal because they contain certain ideas that are considered dangerous to the society. So the firemen are dispersed to go in people's houses who they suspect to contain these books and that are hidden somewhere and burn them. And so for the fireman, the protagonist is Guy Montag. He starts out just kind of just used to it, right? He's a fireman, he burns books, that's his job, that's what he does, doesn't really think. Until he meets this girl who is very open-minded and says things like, hey, you know, I heard back in the day firemen used to put out fires instead of start them. And then the girl also was asking him a lot of questions that opened his mind up, especially in that why are books burnt, like when they weren't before, like what has changed, well, like why, what's so dangerous about books? And so Guy Montag, the protagonist, went on saying, hey, books are bad, they need to be burned because they contain ideas that are dangerous because they make people think. And this is a society in which people consume a lot of TV and just a lot of mindless things. I'm not saying TV is mindless, but in this society it was. The TV was just a fake reality, like a fake TV show. And it was also mentioned in the book, in this book, Fahrenheit 451, that it wasn't the books themselves that were illegal. It's just that everything that contained some sort of sense were in books and not in other media such as TV. That's why TV was okay and everyone was consumed by TV. And this book was written in the 50s. And so I think it's way ahead of its time. Guy Montag eventually becomes sickened with his job censoring books. He goes in people's houses, he finds books, he burns the books, they have flamethrowers. And he especially changed when one lady did refuse to leave her house. She had a library, totally illegal, you can't have that, you can't have any book. But she was burned down with a house, the firemen just burned her down. Guy Montag, that didn't sit well with him. So he really started looking at it differently, and he changed, and he experienced a lot of crap. He pretty much put a target on his head. The girl mysteriously vanished. He suspected to have been murdered, but she still lived inside him, inside his head, about her ideology about books and why they're beneficial and how they're not dangerous, but it's just the ideas in them are considered dangerous by a certain group of people, the government. And so having these ideas, having books, hoarding books, he started hoarding books. The very books he was set out to destroy, he was secretly keeping them and having a whole bunch of books. And it was discovered by his fire department that was the case. And he received hell for it, no pun intended. They tried to kill him. But he eventually found freedom, and that's what that book is all about. It's about finding freedom. But it's such a great book. I read it in high school. It's issued in a lot of schools as a read in the curriculum, and it's a great book. But I still read it. So, and how descriptive it is too. It's so creative. I love it when I read a book and I read things that I've never heard before. The way some words are put together. Just some of the imagery and the metaphors. And this book is rich in them, and I just love reading that because it's good on the mind. I mean, you can't really get that from watching Jersey Shore, you know? So that's why I like this book so much, partially because of all the diction and the way it's composed, as well as the message behind it. I can relate to the protagonist a lot. So I hope this video served you well. I hope it answered some questions. I answered all of the ones that you guys have asked. Or at least, apologies if I said it's too personal or whatever, but it's just I have this guard that I can't really say stuff that too, just because anyone can watch it, and I don't feel comfortable with that, you know. So that's why I kind of have this like shield. You know, I probably won't ever like talk about some things right now. That's kind of contradictory, but I just want to let you guys know that your comments are very much appreciated, and not all the time. You're a killer. I'm empty. No. But it's just, yeah, I mean, I work full time, and but my programming is very efficient now to where I can just let things do their own. A lot of times it's just overlooking the programs that I've created to make my life easier, and it's gotten to a point where I just overlook a lot of stuff now. And that's partially why I've been creating a lot of videos lately, is because I've found the time to. And it's so good because with the programming stuff, I mean, why do it yourself when you can just like make a program to do it? So, I mean, that's really nerdy though. Apologies if it was boring, but that's so that I don't really want to talk about programming too much in this video, but because it is dry, but it is cool to me. But so I plan to really step up my game on this channel, even though I still work full time. But like I said, I can multitask very well. I kind of have a game plan. Start in June, just because I like the hustle. I miss the hustle. I so miss hustling. I worked at a Fortune 500 company a couple years ago on the side as like a side job, also with my normal work, self-employed stuff, programming, and it was such a hustle, and it was so cool, and I miss that. I miss being so busy, because when you're so busy, you don't really think a lot. You just work and you do it like a machine. And that's what I want to become. I want to become a machine. See, that sounds weird, but I hope this video, you know, kind of let you guys know like what's up. I really don't like talking about myself too much, so, and sometimes I say a lot without saying anything. But like right now, and then I stutter. I'm not really good at public speaking, okay? But I just hope it serves some purpose, and I hopefully that you guys know a little bit more who I am and who I am not. No, just because I have a lot of stuff planned, I don't want you guys thinking that I'm a killer. I'm not a killer. Killer depends on how you define killer. There's another word for it, like rad. That's killer, man. But I'm just talking nonsense now, so I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave you all. Okay, I'll be back. Like I said, June things will start going down. I mean, I have a lot of series planned, a lot of different new series, and I think you guys will like. But the thing is, I don't want to create so many videos to where it dilutes the quality content, if I dare say that, quality. I'm so used to making videos now to where I can crack. I mean, filming really doesn't take long at all. Editing takes a while. I mean, especially not necessarily this video, but some of the other videos that go places, in a lot of places. You know, the very dynamic videos like drive-by shooting. So editing takes a long time. But at the same time, I'm becoming much faster and way more efficient, like I said, with my programming, to where I can manage it for sure. I've done some calculations. I'm a complete nerd. I've done some calculations. I have a whole agenda schedule that I will abide by and follow. And if I don't, then you guys will know that I am fake, okay? And so that's what's good. So I'll take the personal responsibility. I can do it. You can do it too, okay? Good night, everyone. It's okay, it's not night. Well, it probably will be by the time I'm done editing, but that's because I swear and I say things off camera and stutter that I just have to kind of kill it. But I don't know. That's too personal. I'll delete that. No, I'll leave it in there. Alright? Just good night, everyone, and have a wonderful day. Alright? Thank you. Bye.